Welcome to a restful yoga class. Restful does mean we are going to rest, and it also means that we're going to move a little bit. Um, I find that sometimes you're just ready to rest, and that's that. But I also find that other folks don't really rest until they've moved a little bit. Sometimes that anxious energy can kind of hang in our body. And unless we give it a little bit of a space to move around or move out of our body, it's hard to rest. So we are going to start standing. We're going to do just a couple standing poses, not many. And we're just kind of going to take this down from standing, kind of mid-level, all the way to the ground. I do have a bolster prepared for some of our final poses. If you don't have a bolster, you can do without. If you have like a thick couch cushion or something that you could grab, I suggest it because one of the poses is really useful, and it's one that I always want to kind of share amongst everyone I know. So grab a bolster or something thick that you've got. Otherwise, we can work without. So go ahead and just start standing, and I want you to do almost just like a neck roll. You can just start there. And then I want you to kind of turn that neck roll into almost like a whole body roll. And what I mean by that is like one heel and then the other's coming off of the ground for me. It's just a little bit of movement in my rib cage. And so as we start out with some of these beginning movements, that's really what we're doing, is we're just trying to free up spots that are sticky that would prevent us from resting, both physically but also energetically. Go ahead and pause at the center, take a deep breath, kind of regain your center line. And then other way, you can just start with the neck. And then go ahead and make it a little bigger. It's probably going to feel a little different on this side for whatever reason. And without really making a plan about it, just kind of notice the places that feel particularly tight. The hope will be that as we start to rest later on, we can unwind some of that tension there. Go ahead and find center. Again, regain your center line. If you feel a little dizzy, just look down at the ground. Inhale, reach your arms up. Interlace your palms, push to the sky. So push up through those index fingers. Interlace index fingers, soften your shoulders, engage the core a little bit. This time lift up off of your heels so you're on your tippy toes, kind of trying to tap into our whole body here. Let it go. We're going to do that again. See if you can switch the direction of the interlace. Inhale, switch the direction, meaning other digit in front. Push your index fingers up. This time side bend one way. Nothing has to be too static today because we're looking to unwind. Inhale up and then side bend other way. Good. Inhale up, interlace those fingers, two index fingers together like a steeple. Push your hips forward and your arms back. Super slight back bend. And then release your arms. A couple of shoulder shrugs on the way down. Widen the stance just a little bit. We're going to do one of my favorite mobility movements. I try to do this every single day. So you're going to swing your arms right to left. So it's really your hips, or you can think about your belly button being the mover here. And your arms are just kind of swinging. Shoulders move. And I like this pose, or this movement rather, because it connects the shoulders and the hips. That line of the spine, that conduit of energy. And we hold tightness in both the shoulders and the hips pretty unanimously. If you're human, you probably have tight hips, tight shoulders. So do this a couple more times and really let your arms kind of fly. They can even kind of slap the body a little bit. Good, and then let it just come back to center, like a pendulum coming back to the center. And once again, regain. We're going to step those feet out, toes out. Sorry, not toes out. Right toes out, left heel kicks back. Come into warrior two. So actually you can do whichever side works for you. Let's say left foot forward instead. Warrior two, arms wide. Stretch your arms. Take a moment here, just check in that line that crosses the heart, crosses the arms, all that communication you do all day long. And then inhale, straighten right leg, arms up, and then exhale, return, warrior two. We'll do this several times with your breath. Inhale, exhale. And then notice if you feel like your right knee is kind of pushing forward over your ankle. If that's the case, go ahead and slide your right foot out. I'm sorry, left foot. Whatever your front foot is, excuse me. Good. Next time your front leg is straight, reach your arms up. And then exhale, front hand goes down, that chin. Look up to the sky, top arm lifts. So you're in triangle pose. This should feel good on the hips, the thighs, and the chest. If we want to bring it into the shoulder a little bit, weave top arm behind your back. Half bind, that's all we're going for. Breathe into top shoulder, open across your heart. If you feel like you're putting too much pressure on your leg, bend the front knee a little bit. Good. Inhale all the way up. Turn toes out towards the corners, heels in. We're going to do 5 goddess squats. Drop down. Expand. Lower. Expand. Couple more. One more. Good. And then kick that. Let's switch sides. We'll just keep it like that. Switch sides so you're on the other side than you were last time. Front leg straight, back heel kicks out just a little bit. Bend front knee, arms wide, warrior two. So again, just stay in this for a moment. Inhale, pulse, front leg straight, arms up. Exhale, return. And this is your flow, just several times. We want to maintain some stability, some structure in the movement, and also let it be a little bit free so that we can free up some of that tight energy that lives with us, that stays from conversations, from situations. Knowing that we can always come back to that. It doesn't have to come with us everywhere we go. Good. Next time you straighten your leg, bring your front hand down. Top arm lifts up, open across. And stay here before you do the bind. So you just kind of feel where things are at. And then return with your top arm behind, open your chest. Feel that half bind. I think sometimes a half bind is more intentional than a full. Really allows for us to notice what's going on in the joint and around. Good, return all the way up. Straighten that front leg, come back to center and just shake it out a little bit. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, dive down, fold. I want you to pause in the fold and really focus on bending your knees a little bit. So you shouldn't be hanging over, your torso shouldn't be hanging. It's almost resting on your thighs. See if you can relax your neck to allow your head to hang. And take another breath. Good, bring your hands down, knees down. And then step right foot forward into low lunge. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, arms come down. Inhale. Exhale. Just two more. And then take your left hand out off your mat. Turn your right toes a little out to the right, so opposite directions. And I'm even going to reach wider with my left hand. Sink into your hips and kind of feel into this very spacious twist. This is the twist that I often suggest pregnant folks take because it gives us more room, but there's value in it for all of us. Feel into the hips. Maybe look over your right shoulder. And then return to center. We're going right into laying down Sphinx pose. And actually, speaking of pregnant folks, if you are not able to lay on your belly, you can come here into kneeling and clasp your hands behind your back. That's a good option if for whatever reason you don't want to lay down on your belly. If you can lay down on your belly, go ahead and find Sphinx pose. Parallel arms, heart open, head back. Breathe here. We're going to stay for a couple breaths. I like this pose because of all the rounding in we do all day. And sometimes a big giant back bend or back stretch skips that subtlety. Here in Sphinx, I can feel the connection down to my low abdominals. All that fascia, all of those muscles that get a little tight from sitting. So just take a couple more breaths. Open across your collarbones. Good, and then soften down. Push back up, hands and knees, other side. Left foot forward, lunge. Arms up. And they just come through. So just a couple of these. Good, and then bring your right hand wide, probably off your mat. Turn your left toes. And again, take your time to find what works for you. Drop into your hips. Allow it to be a little asymmetrical and open across your chest, your front hip, your front thigh. Maybe look over your left shoulder. Take another breath. Move in through center. Once again, Sphinx pose. Too good not to repeat. Or again, kneeling if that's better for you. Chest open, head back. And again, we'll linger. Good, go ahead and come down. Child's pose, just for a check-in. It's mostly for a back stretch. So because of that, I'm going to keep my legs together, which truly stretches the back. If you prefer a less intense version, widen your knees, or of course, if it just doesn't work for your body, no worries. And then come on up. Going to start seated. We'll bring right, and I should mention, if you want to sit up on a folded blanket or a block, by all means, I suggest that for people who are uncomfortable sitting on the ground. Extend your right leg long, bring your left foot over. Just start here, pushing down on left knee to lengthen your spine longer. Big inhale. Exhale, twist. Open across your chest. So I should mention, if twisting isn't what your body needs, you can twist the opposite way, and it's, again, a really open twist. You can also back this up by just kind of holding on to the knee. I find that twisting of all the movements really releases some of that tense energy and prepares us for rest, at least in my body. Turn your chin over your shoulder. Good, and then come through center. Bring your left foot inside your right leg. And then just start by side bending. Right hand can go down to your ankle or inside. And stretch. And then kind of walk yourself forward. We're going to find ourselves right in between those two thighs, even with the asymmetry, and then fold in. Can maybe land your forearms. Of course, if that's too deep, you just keep your hands upright. And really just allow the unwinding in your low back. This is another one that if I could suggest just a couple poses a day, this would fall into that suggestion box. Come on up. Just take a moment upright. And then other side, left leg long, right foot steps over, knee up. Push down with your knee. So again, if you need an open twist, you turn towards the side your foot is on. Otherwise, left arm beside your ear, hug your right knee or even slide the arm outside of it. Twist your right shoulder back and breathe. Good, and then come through center. Unwind. We'll start in the side bend, right foot inside of left thigh. Left hand slides down onto your calf or ankle or inside, and then right arm overhead. Preparing the body for rest. Giving yourself permission to step back. Good, and then come on up. Same thing, we're coming in between the two thighs. Janu Sirsasana variation. Give yourself some support, whether it's your hands or your forearms. And then just let it go. And the sides are different. There is real value in stretching asymmetry. Good, and then come on up. Just sit for a moment. So the next pose, we're doing two more poses. I'm going to suggest another twist. And I love this one with a bolster or a thick pillow. So I'm going to share that. Otherwise, you can do it on your back, twisting your legs to one side, arms out like a T, but make it gentle. If you're able to do this, you're going to bring the bolster or the couch pillow. It's okay if it's very wide, it doesn't matter. And you're going to set your hips right next to it and your knees like a zigzag. So your knees are over here, your outside leg is on top. And then once you've laid down, get comfortable and allow yourself to unwind for a little bit. We won't be here super long, but we'll be here long enough to let our body reset. This gentle twist. So if your mind starts to wander, you can simply repeat, inhale, exhale. Or practice feeling the ground underneath your body, wherever your hips, legs, hands, arms touch the ground. Make a mental connection. Take about 3 more breaths out of the mouth. And then push up. I'm simply going to switch the bolster to the other side of my hip. You can move around your prop as needed. Same thing, hip on the mat, opposite legs like a zigzag, outside leg on top. You twist and then land. Once again, turn your head whichever direction makes sense to you. And then really feel the support of the prop. Of course, I should have mentioned if you're on your back, switch sides. And if you're without a prop, just feel the support of the ground underneath you. And again, we'll linger. If your mind wanders, say inhale and exhale. Or focus on the texture of the cloth of the prop, texture of your mat, texture of the floor underneath you, something that you can feel, something that's right here, right now. Nothing to do but be right here. Three more breaths. Come on up to seated. Take a moment in between. So we're going to do legs up the wall. You don't need a lot of wall space, but you would need a true wall, which not everyone has. If you don't have a wall, I suggest a rolled blanket or towel under your knees in Shavasana. I also really like using the bolster as that prop under your knees. It seems a little big, but there's something really calming, in my opinion, about having the feet planted and the knees resting on that prop. So you can see how that feels. If you're coming to legs up the wall, you don't need a big space, but you need a little space at least. Bring the prop with you. It could be a folded blanket as well. And the real trick here is trying to wiggle into this without stressing the body. So I'll do so. One moment. Once you've kind of rolled onto your prop, just push your heels into the wall. Just scoot your seat all the way up to the wall. And again, if you're like, that's more than I wanted in a restful class, then go ahead and just Find a Shavasana with support under your knees. Once you're in your pose, legs up the wall or Shavasana, allow yourself to be here. Nothing to do. You can come back to those tools of grounding, awareness, or saying inhale and exhale. Allow yourself to rest. Two more deep breaths. And if you have more time to rest, by all means, keep resting. To come out of legs up the wall, you're going to bring your knees down and you're going to safely just roll to one side. Press up with your hands. Of course, if you're on your roll under your knees, you'll simply just roll your knees to one side. And once you land, just sit upright and take a moment to recalibrate before re-entering your day or entering into your evening. Feel that calm in your body, that calm in your mind, the joy of resting, the joy of doing nothing, of stepping back. It balances everything else we do out. There's always time to rest. Thank you so much for being here.